Howdy, I'm Grey Pilgrim. Well, I don't know if this is going to work or not. I'm using basically a battery for a GoPro Hero 8, and this is a Hero 7. And I hear there's some issues between the two. Anyway, howdy. I do videos on gun stuff, and I'm not exactly what you'd call one of the stellar huge gun tuber channels. I'm very much small potatoes. Usually I get 30 to 50, maybe 70 views per video. But I put one up the other day that seemed to have gotten 300 some on. And for me, that's viral. It was about guns that are a little forgotten and weird. And people used to use them a lot. But they're in calibers that few people have even heard of. And I think they're cool. So I was showing them off. Well, no guns today. I'm going to show something about, well, sharp pointy things. This is a katana, the traditional Japanese longsword. They had a longer one earlier, but this was the standard longsword of the Japanese samurai. A samurai would carry one of these in his sash, with another one on the other side called a wakizashi. And the wakizashi is a short sword. Its main purpose is to use for seppuku, which is honorable suicide. The way you would do that is bow down, take your sword, stuff it into your gut, and cut up and to the side while you're bent over. And then before the pain completely takes you, your second was supposed to grab his katana and cut your head off. Japanese had some weird culture. But anyway, people think that they went into battle with these things. They really didn't. After about the 14th century, when they've got matchlock rifles, it was a, what do they call them, a tagamashina. I've got one up on the wall over there. Not a real one, that's a facsimile. But it's the weapon that they used for samurai on samurai war throughout the warlords era of Japan before the coming of the shogun. And then the samurai became the administrative class. And that was up until the Meiji Restoration. And then many of them revolted and got wiped out with the modern army and then the samurai. And the samurai just would not stand up to the modern army. So that was sad, but it happened. And the ones that were left, some of them stayed in administrative positions. But that's just another thing about the samurai. But this is the traditional Japanese longsword. This is an American-made facsimile of it. I could go through the whole discussion of the samurai sword, but anyway, I want to show sharp, pointy things. This one I've had for some time. This is a Marine Corps NCO or non-commissioned officers dress saber when they're dressed in their dress blues for various functions. And this was actually just carried by the NCO to twirl around and do all those fancy things they did. I was not in the Marines. I just happened to have this because I bought it at an estate sale. And I thought, I appreciate what this is. And it shouldn't just go to somebody to be used to whack weeds out of the garden. This should be kept and preserved with honor because it was carried by someone with honor. And this one I just recently got. This is a U.S. cavalry saber. And it's long. It's bloody long. What's interesting about it, it doesn't have any maker's marks on it. Well, that tells me either it's a modern facsimile, which this is an absolutely pristine sword. It's not cheap, it's not a knockoff, it doesn't look like that. It's relatively sharp, and it's a beautiful bell on the thing. And it has beautiful balance too. I used to fence saber, in high school and later college, and I fenced saber. I did épée and foil for a little while, but I preferred saber. And I could go through a whole thing about saber fencing too, but when I did it was, golly, 50 years ago, and that's I'm sure the rules have changed on it since my day. But it's got a nick here that looks like somebody hit a bone. Well, anyway, if it's not a modern facsimile, it's either one of two things. It's an early 20th century one made during the World War One, because they really needed stuff really quick to equip the American Expeditionary Force. And well, sabers were part of the accoutrements. And they really churned these out, well, by the thousands for our troops. The other thing it could be is a Civil War vintage, because the Civil War, they also turned out, the Union at least, turned out thousands of these, usually with a maker mark stamped on it. But then the Confederates also churned out a few thousand of these. Sometimes they had a maker mark, but sometimes they did not. And this one is of high enough quality that I don't think it's a cheap modern knockoff, and I don't think it was a cheap Confederate knockoff. I think this was a well-built weapon. And during the Civil War, these were not made for show. These were made for use. And this is a beautiful example of that kind of weapon, I think. I just collect weapons. I'm not that great at the use of them, but I have a few. Well, and I just want to say thank you to all the new subscribers, because that last video, I seem to have gotten 7 or 8 new subscribers out of the deal. Welcome. That's about all I got to talk about. Happy trails.